6 years ago when I came here to try to break into the community of Temple Beth Am, it's not an easy thing to do. There's such a large community. There's so many moving facets, and in those early days as I was really trying to get my bearings, I realized that it would be impossible to fit in at Beth Am, to understand the culture of Beth Am, if I were not accepted by the senior cantor. From the very beginning, it was my feeling that Cantor Nelson, who I know as Rachelle, welcomed me, opened her arms to me, and my sense of humor is good in small doses, but when you have to live with it, it's what some people might call annoying. But Cantor Nelson was the one that I could joke with. She was the one that I could go into her office, lay on her couch, eat the candy in her office, and tell her all the problems that I had in the world. She was the one who opened her soul to me and made me feel comfortable here as a rabbi and working on this clergy team. I think it was our first High Holy Days together, but it might have been our second. And if I think about what my all-time favorite moments have been here at Temple Beth Am, it was this moment, and it was a fleeting moment. It was very quick. It was one flash of a smile that I got from Rachelle that was one of my all-time favorite moments. It was I believe my first Kol Nidre here. And Rachelle and I were standing at these two podiums. They were in the middle. It was before Corona. They were closer together. We were pretty much right next to each other. And if you don't know this, singing of Kol Nidre is a big moment for the cantor. It's something that you wait all year for. And your voice is ready and you're prepared. And we were getting to that moment. The cello finally finished. And Rachelle was about ready to start Kol Nidre. One of the most dramatic moments of the year. And right as she was about to start, I looked over to her and I said, "I'll take this one." And she looked at me with a glance that was a combination of just total shock and disgust, and a smile at the same time. That's what I'll always remember. That it was great. I remember the smile because as much as I annoyed her, and I was an amateur at annoying her then. It's taken 6 years to really perfect it. But at that moment, it was just such a warm and inviting smile. But here's really what I want to tell you about Rachelle tonight. For so many of us, what we do for a living is what we do for a living. And it's part of our lives, and we do it, and we get paid for it, and we go home. And for a lot of us, our job becomes more than a job. It becomes part and parcel of who we are. And when you work on the clergy in this community, it's a little bit different than maybe even other congregations. All the friends that we have, all the people that we know, are pretty much Temple Beth Am. I mean, I met one other guy once, but then he joined. And Cantor Nelson's life, her soul, she has given to all of you and to all of us in a way that you don't really see from too many other people. Her day off is Monday. She's almost always here. It's because this is her home. And this is where she raised her beautiful daughters. This is where they grew spiritually as well. And everything that she has given you over 29 years, you have given back to her 1,000,000 times over. And what you've given back to her is so important and so beautiful that it can't ever be forsaken. And so we know that though tonight is Cantor Nelson's last night as our senior cantor before she becomes our cantor emerita, we know that Cantor Nelson is what we call Temple Beth Am royalty. She's part of our family forever. She always, God willing, will be here with us and will be part of our future. Now, if this were a Bruce Springsteen concert and I wanted to speak before his biggest hit ever, I'd come right before Born to Run and say, it's time for me to speak, and now we're going to sing Born to Run. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to speak tonight before Cantor Nelson's biggest hit ever. This is the one that she really made all the big bucks. And she gets these royalty checks even to today. They're like a nickel or like a quarter sometimes. But this is, even before I came here, I knew. Temple Beth Am, Pinecrest, Rachelle Nelson, that's where that Baruch Hu comes from. She got a lot of other great songs, but this is her big hit. So, for the last time as our senior cantor, our call to worship, the world-famous Cantor Rachelle Nelson, Baruch Hu. If you're able, please rise.
Thank you. Lie, 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 ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Lie, 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 ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 ya la 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 la. Lie, 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 lie. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Yai la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la.
A letter to my beloved Cantor. Dear Rachelle, how is it possible that we're standing on this bema sending you off into a new phase of your cantorial life? It's hard to imagine what this place will be like without you. So much of Temple Beth Am's congregational life, its Beth Aminess, is some way or another attached to you. And when I think about my time here, almost every major moment and milestone and memory includes you. Years before I came to work at Beth Am, Danny, my husband, some of you know him, and I came to Shabbat services over there in the old shul to see where he grew up. And there you were, seated at your keyboard in the middle of what I remember to be, I could be wrong, but this is what I remember, the sanctuary floor, leading prayer and song, smiling energetically, pounding the keys, and drawing the congregation into prayer and song. I had never seen or experienced anything or anyone quite like you. Someone who could so gracefully command the bema, smile, sing, and play piano, all with a combination of boundless energy and joy. That first image of you sitting in the middle of it all, artfully and loudly, accompanying yourself on the piano, is an image of you that I come back to often. But more than that early memory, as I thought about that image and that evening, I came to realize that that scene, that picture really encapsulates you as a cantor. You and your music and your heart in the middle of all of it. More than sermons, more than beautiful poetry, more than well-worn, generationally bound liturgy, it's your music that draws out our souls. I know it's controversial for a rabbi to say that, but I believe it. That moves our minds, that opens our hearts. It's your music that brings us to contemplation, pushes us from sadness to joy, that cradles us in times of mourning and heartbreak. Inside the walls of this sanctuary, you have carried each of us along our individual journeys. You've embraced us with notes that elevated ancient words of Hebrew and became a bridge from one soul to the other. Now there are more souls here. That bound strangers in the pews and on Zoom to form a sacred congregation. You made us feel that the whole of this prayer space, the entirety of our Kehillah, was something much bigger than the individual parts. It's the music. It's your music, Rachelle, that moves us each Shabbat to reach higher, to seek out deeper connection, to find a place to turn down the noise of what we should do, and move us to consider what might be possible when we let ourselves be inspired by song. Not every cantor can do this. In fact, I'd venture to say that most cannot. To be a cantor is not just to sing or chant Torah portions or Haftorah trope or Kol Nidre on command. It's the ability to take these moments and transform them into something elusive and beautiful and powerful and rare. You, Rachelle, have done this for each of us every day, every week, in services and holidays and funerals and baby namings and blessings of conversion and marriage and healing. Rachelle, you have been at the center of our soul, and in that place you raised us up time and time again. Your music is embedded in my heart, and I, for one, standing among many, am grateful. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. May you go forth with the grace and strength that you have shown us all. We love you.
Raising our song. And that's how we also think of our prayer for peace. We don't feel necessarily peaceful until we feel that music in our soul that Cantor Nelson will bring to us right now. We join in Shalom Rav, page 60.
With my beautiful Sydney and my Mason. The real reason I came to Beth Am is standing right here.
Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amha, Tasim Leolam. Grant us peace, give us courage to face another day. Let your words of hope call us to pray. In every time and season, every heart must be open in our prayers and blessings. That's when love is spoken. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. Gather us your people in friendship and hope, Israel a shelter for all. In every time and season, every heart must be open in our prayers and blessings. That's when love is spoken. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha. Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha. Tasim le'olam.
Thank you, Sydney. Thank you, Mason. I don't know about the rest of you, but I need a few moments of quiet time to compose myself again after seeing really an example of the heights of what Cantor Nelson made her life's work, training and reaching out to young people and having Judaism be a part of their lives.
לרצון אמרפי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי וגואלי אדוני of my heart be acceptable to you, oh Lord, my rock, and my redeemer. Kol tov, kol tov, kol tov, kol tov, kol tov. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Shegma lanu kol tov, kol tov, kol tov, kol tov, kol tov, kol tov, kol tov.
Shabbat Shalom. I have some words that I need to read from Bob Barron, who was the incoming president when Cantor Nelson started here at this wonderful place. And I'd like to call past presidents who are here. I saw Bobby Schatzman, I see Joe Jacoby, I see Daniela Zanzuri-Biner, and our immediate past president, my dear friend Stuart Ratson, if you could join me. While they're coming up, Rachelle, Cantor Nelson, I said this before, but never in front of this many people. You restored my Jewish heart. You restored my Jewish soul when it was horribly broken. Because of that, my dear, you're forever in my heart. And God knows I only wish you the best. And this is not goodbye. This is continued growth. And thank you. Toda Rabah. I love you. Thank you. This is from Bob Barron. I did not write this. I don't want to get blamed. As incoming president of Beth Am, I had the very special honor and privilege of introducing our new cantor, Rachelle Nelson, to the congregation in the summer of 1991. I first met Rachelle with our then outgoing president, Gary Cohen, at Bird Eins restaurant in downtown Miami. Remember Bird Eins? These young people, Bird Eins, huh? Macy's, which was close to Gary's law office. Also there was Rachelle's husband, Harvey, who was also her professional advisor and who I very much recall was a very tough advocate on Rachelle's behalf. Rachelle was already a star in the community, and I remember how special it was to meet her, especially for the very first time. Rachelle was a wonderful addition to Temple Beth Am, as our synagogue had an invested cantor for the very first time in our history. She was the full package, not only a beautiful voice, but a wonderful musical composer, a talented player of many musical instruments, and a personality who resonated so well and was loved by all of the Beth Am children, and especially the many B'nai Mitzvah young adults she had taught over the years. She's always had a special way of connecting with all members of our congregation, of every age, with her warm, approachable, and caring way. It was obvious from her first day at Temple Beth Am that Rachelle loved being a cantor, and she always brought that love and compassion to everything that she has done. I will also never forget and will always be grateful for how in the very early years of her tenure at Temple Beth Am, Rachelle was the solid rock that held us together when then Senior Rabbi Kendall left the congregation in 1993. And we needed a spiritual leader to help us get through that difficult period of time in our history. Rachelle was there to step up she did without hesitation. Rachelle, I personally am very proud and grateful that I and my family could be so actively involved with you over the many years at Temple Beth Am, and as you created a legacy of beautiful music and an impact on all of us that will last forever. As we know that our Cantor Emerita, you will continue to be an integral part of our congregation in the years to come. We look forward to many more years of your musical genius and wonderful melodies. With much love and appreciation, Bob. I'm also going to sign all of the past presidents as well, Rachelle. It is now, where is Andrea? We have a special guest, a gift for Cantor Nelson. Sweet music, sweet person, sweet flowers. Now we'd like to invite from our world-class sisterhood, Sherry and Wendy, to present a special memento of their appreciation for all the work that Cantor Nelson has done with them.
Okay. This year was very difficult for everyone because everyone did Zoom or live stream high holidays. And the sisterhood wanted to make it special, so what we did, we had a program called How to Make Your Home a Small Sanctuary. So how do we do that? And what we did was we had commissioned award-winning Wendy Kornfeld to give a painting, and we have everyone who attended has the print, but a painting of what it meant to her of what Beth Am is, and I'll let her explain to it what it was.
I was missing going to temple so much this year and so scared by the pandemic. It was very calming to me to close my eyes and imagine what the bima looked like. And so much of that is the music and the joy that you bring.
So we want to present with you the original oil painting, watercolor of everything that everyone has who has attended the print of it, but
It's beautiful.
it's got you, the flute and everything. So we want to say Mazel Tov, and you'll always be a place in our hearts.
Thank you so much.
And you can
Thank you.
remember how we see you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's magnificent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sisterhood. How do you sum up 29 years of loving and sharing, celebration and mourning, creating and trusting, falling and getting back up again, and holding on and letting go? This is the night of all these emotions that I share with you. Some of you remember how I waddled into Temple Beth Am with the miracle of 2 lives living within me, my beautiful, my incredible, my Rebecca, and my Leah. I had enjoyed a wonderful career thus far at Temple Israel of Greater Miami, but Temple Beth Am had something that few synagogues had to offer, and that was lots of incredible children. Because of its outstanding day school, I would have the opportunity to inspire and motivate hundreds of young lives with my love of Judaism through music, and that is exactly what I set out to do. I composed song after song for the synagogue and arranged countless melodies for youth choir. My babies grew up here, and as my daughter Rebecca always says, "Mom, this is where we were potty trained." And she's right. How do you sum up 29 years of growing and learning, giving and receiving? I'm not sure that you truly can. I think that the answer lies in how you love and how you give. That is what I have tried to do throughout my incredible career at Temple Beth Am, to love you and to give to you. My parents, of blessed memory, who sat right here in these front rows, always taught their children to be humble. And that is what I hope you will remember most about me. It is so easy to get caught up in yourself and believe that those behind and believe that the world rotates around you and that your talents are what makes you the person that you are. But that's not really true. What makes you who you are is your character, not your achievements. Are you kind and are you caring? Do you share generously with others? And are you sensitive to those around you? When you make a mistake, and we all do, can you say, "I am sorry," and work even harder not to repeat that same mistake again? Will you open your arms and your soul to those less fortunate? Will you treat the person who cleans your home with the same respect that you treat your colleagues? That is how I was raised. And the rewards from living this kind of life far outshine the rewards of a newly published piece of music or the chance to perform in front of thousands of people at a URJ biennial. To my colleagues, Rabbi Barris, Rabbi Greengrass, Rabbi Aklepi, and to my wonderful Rabbi Judith Kempler, I thank you for being my teachers and my friends. I hope you have learned as much from me as I have learned from you. To the colleagues that surround me here on this bima, Cantor Lisa Siegel, who has walked this life with me side by side, as well as Jackie Burney and Susan Linder, and the wonderful new gift of your cantorial soloist, Jessica Bass, the musicality and brilliance of Billy Whitman, and the era Antropova. I never say her name because I never can get it right. I just call her Liera. To Mason Lang and Sidney Mizrahi, how blessed I have been to work with each and every one of you. What an amazing impact you have all had on my life. And to all the staff here at Temple Beth Am, from our president, David Young, our newly past president, Stuart Ratson, to all the past presidents and our executive director, Brian Chartoff, and Bob Hirsch, who I worked with for a very long time. Thank you for your leadership and guidance. I know that I leave you in wonderful hands as well with your new senior cantor, Tiffany Koyo. And to those behind the scenes, to Carlos and Luis and his staff who do a remarkable job of keeping this place sparkling, thank you so very much. I hope I have let you know on numerous occasions how much I love and appreciate you, Carlos. Mi amor. During COVID, though there was so much heartache and loss, there also were new beginnings and adventures. I was able to reach beyond my small corner of creativity and begin working with lyricists and Jewish composers from all over the world. One of those lyricists, Julie Brandon, and I composed 3 songs in a period of a few months. But one of those pieces was not complete. We just couldn't seem to finish it. And this past Wednesday night, when I was writing my words and thoughts as to what I would say to you, I thought the best thing I could do for myself would be to sit down at the piano, which was at 10:45 p.m., which is when I normally start writing, and finally compose the last notes to our song called A Small Spark. I want to dedicate this song to all of you tonight and to the many that are listening and to the endless amount of emails and texts that I have received over this past 2 weeks of those of you that are out of town and couldn't be here tonight. I want to dedicate this song, A Small Spark, to you, my Temple Beth Am family. And I want to tell you again and again and again what an honor and a privilege it has been to serve as your senior cantor and even more as your friend. Thank you, and I'm going to sing now to you the song I dedicate to you. Deep inside of each of us, a small ember glows. Connection with another helps the spark to grow. The hope we share fans the flames, brighter shines the light. All the love you have to give illuminates the night. Chase away the shadows, spark by little spark. When you touch another's heart, light replaces dark. Chase away the shadows, spark by little spark. When you touch another's heart, light replaces dark. People carry shadows deep within their souls that dwell beside the holy light, striving to be whole. At times the darkness overtakes the spark, faint and small, searching for that gentle glow we can't see at all. Chase away the shadows,
light replaces dark. Chase away the shadows, spark by little spark. When you touch another's heart, light replaces darkness is softened by gentle kindness, adding our love to the flame, bursting forth in a joyous moment, gathering us in God's name. Chase away the shadows, spark by little spark. When you touch another's heart, light replaces dark. Chase away the shadows, spark by little spark. When you touch another's heart, light replaces dark. The spark.
Thank you.
We've all had a chance to speak to you. When I came to Temple Beth Am, when I was interviewing, flying here from New York, it was very interesting to get these snippets of everyone's personalities. And I come into your office, and you swivel from your computer screen, and then you give me your full attention. And you say, you're going to do great here. You're going to be really successful here. You're going to have a wonderful career. And when it's time to cry, you come in here, you close the door.
Sounds like me.
Yeah, that was you. And we have had so many moments where we've gotten to celebrate, and so many times where I've had to come in and close the door. And I am so grateful to you that you have always been there for me when I needed someone to speak to. That you've been there for me when I needed someone to speak truth to me. That you were there for me. You have this line in your song. You, in our prayers and blessing, that's where love is spoken. That's what you sang. In our prayers and blessing, that's where love is spoken. So Cantor Nelson came to the hospital for both of my babies and gave them the priestly benediction and loved them and started telling them so much about what it's like to be a rabbi's kid. And Cantor Nelson was there for me and prayed over me when I was going through my treatment. And she was there laughing, making jokes, and I looked at her, and she knew that in that moment I needed a clergy person, and she prayed for me. She was there for me when I lost my grandparents, and I am so grateful to you because you've been an amazing colleague, and you have been an inspiring woman and clergy person and leader to me. And you've also been my cantor. You know, Judy said, my cantor. You've been my cantor and lifted me up with more than just music. And I share this, and I'm lucky because I'm a rabbi, so I get to take the mic and I get to say what I want. But I look around this room and I know so many people in here could share the same stories of you being with them in the hospital, of you naming their babies, of you naming their grandbabies, of you marrying them, of you celebrating them, of you opening your office and closing the door and letting them cry. We're going to miss you, but as you've heard again and again, you will be here just in a different role. You are in our hearts, and we love you oh so very much. And it's my pleasure to invite Rabbis Aklepi and Rabbi Barris. As you have blessed us so many times, we're going to bless you. Actually, yeah. And if we've learned anything about Rachelle over these years, it's that if you can invite her daughters up, then it'll make her that much happier. So, Leah, Rebecca. You gotta bless your mommy too, okay? We're all gonna put our hands on her.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and always watch over you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. May God's face shine to you and be kind to you. Because you shine, and you are so incredibly kind, Rachelle.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lach shalom. May God's countenance, may God's presence always be with you, granting you all lives of peace, of shalom, and of wholeness. Amen.
I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long.
It has been an incredible 29 years that I have served as your cantor. Both through the most joyous of occasions and saddest, we have been through these things together as one family, as one community. I am so blessed. I have been privileged to work with so many different colleagues throughout my career. They have had a profound influence on my life, and I feel I've had a profound influence on theirs as well.
A few months after I came to Beth Am, I said to Cantor Nelson, I can't believe the pace of this place. How have you been able to keep the pace up of Beth Am for all of these years? Now thinking back, almost 30 years of a career at Temple Beth Am, how's she been able to do it? Well, first of all, the love that you have for her and the love that she has for you has kept her going. She's been with you in the happiest times and in the saddest times. And what also keeps her going is her creativity, her innovation, and her desire to keep liturgy and our worship fresh for you. It's that incredible energy that has been the hallmark of her incredible career here at Beth Am, and we've been so fortunate to share it with her.
Temple Beth Am has inspired me to write so much music throughout my life. From prayer services to adult choirs, children choirs, instrumentalists, I have had the opportunity to share my gift with my community. And in turn, I've been able to share it with the Jewish world.
Cantor Nelson is a pioneer. She is a legend. Her career, almost all of it at Temple Beth Am, has touched Jews around the country and around the world. We have been blessed to have her. This year marks her last year as senior cantor at Temple Beth Am. She'll be taking a well-earned sabbatical next year, and immediately thereafter will be in her new position as cantor emerita at Beth Am. So she's not leaving us, but she is leaving her position as senior cantor. This year is a year to honor her, to thank her for her 3 decades of service to our community, and to cherish her last hurrah on our bima as senior cantor.
Hi Mama, we're just here to tell you how much we love you and celebrate you today and every day. We're so proud of you and all the accomplishments you have made and the foundation and legacy you have created at Temple Beth Am, and we're so excited for what your future holds.
Just remember, Mommy, this is not the end, it's only the beginning. You have so much more to accomplish. Your name is going to be all over this world. We love you.
We love you. Mwah.
One of the most treasured things in my life has been my family. My mother and father, may they rest in peace, sat right in the 3rd row almost every Friday night, and of course every high holiday, mouthing the words to every song, sometimes singing them out loud as well. My sister Eve produced all of my albums. My brother Jonathan, always teaching me and coming to synagogue to hear his sister. And of course, most of all, my two beautiful daughters, Leah and Rebecca, the greatest gift of all, who have absolutely enveloped my life in love and joy. Thank you, my Temple Beth Am community. I'm so glad we had this time together. I love you. Thank you. How much I love you all. In my heart. Do you have more?
Of course there's more. We never end, actually.
Okay.
Well,
we do
one of the many amazing compositions that you have brought to the world is what we heard right at the end, the Shehechianu. I want to invite our musicians.
I'd like to invite also to stand with me two people that have been my rocks for all these years. My incredible vocal coach, Manny Perez, I always do that, and Susanna Diaz. Would you come join us? Leah, you'll come up. Rebecca, would you come stand with Mom too? You don't have to sing if you don't want to, even though you've got an incredible voice. But she wanted to be a doctor.
I'll do a
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyemanu v'higianu b'zman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyemanu v'higianu b'zman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyemanu v'higianu b'zman hazeh. Blessed are you, Lord our God. Come here, Marilyn. Come on, Marilyn. Granting us life, preserving us, helping us reach this day. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyemanu v'higianu b'zman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyemanu v'higianu b'zman hazeh. Blessed are you, Lord our God, Lord of the universe, granting us life, preserving us, Temple Beth Am. I love you.
Cantor, we've got just one more thank you for you that from us to you up here on the bima. Leora, hit it. I'm nothing special. In fact, I'm a bit of a bore. If I've told the joke, you've probably heard it before.
But I have a talent, a wonderful thing, 'cause everyone listens when I start to sing. I'm so grateful and proud. All I want to do is sing it out loud. So I say thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What would life be without a song or a dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. Thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What would life be without a song or a dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me.
Thank you, everybody. Love it. I love you all.